What do you consider to be the three most important challenges to seeing women in the manufacturing work environment?
I'll start with that. I think one of the challenges, frankly, is just building the pipeline. And as I mentioned earlier, it's not just the pipeline of high school kids making their choices as they enter college, but turning on that light bulb, as I mentioned earlier, and sometimes that starts much, much sooner. And so I think one of the challenges is to stimulate and be very active in the pipeline, which becomes the feeder pool ultimately that enters the workforce. So number one challenge. I think another challenge is I get asked frequently, what do I look for in engineers that DuPont wants to hire? And I look for technical skills as table stakes. You go to a good school, you get good grades, and so you come out with your degree, and that is that's a starting point, but it's not enough. And increasingly, what we see at DuPont, the problems that we face are more and more complex. And we need people who can work across boundaries, who can cut across disciplines. So engineers working with biologists, as an example, to solve a problem together. And so we need the skill sets that foster good teamwork, that open-minded to diversity of thought. And diversity, I use that term very broadly. Who are good communicators, because sometimes you might have the solution, but you're limited in your communication skills and making the pitch and in selling the concept. So we need a pipeline that produces not just the technical capability, but the ability to collaborate and creatively solve problems and communicate those solutions well. And I think the third challenge is actually the conversation. So putting new faces to engineers and describing what they do, not what subjects they might have been good at in school. And just as an example, last month was National Engineering Month, and specifically National Engineers Week. At DuPont, we put together a number of posters, and they profiled engineers in all walks across the company, maybe product development, maybe plant-based operations, maybe research and development or projects. And we showed the person's picture. We gave a quote of what they said, here's what I do. I'm working on solar power, or I'm helping the community improve the quality of drinking water, or what have you. And then we also put a little bit of background about that person. And what it does is it makes it very personal, and it puts a face on it, and you can see yourself in these posters. And we've used them with recruiting, we've used them internally just as a moment of pride. But trying to make it very personal and enhance the conversation about who engineers are and what they look like and what they're working on, and make it very real, very tangible. Oh, they look like me. Oh, I can do that. Oh, I want to do that. And I think that's one of the challenges, is to have that conversation more visibly and kind of collectively. We're kind of one-off as one company doing this, and I think we need to be part of a broader conversation.